Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today, continuing with the team preview, and we're now up to the LA Valiant. Um, so the Valiant has done a full roster change. So basically everyone who was in the roster last season is out. The new roster consists of the 4 DPS players of Dia, Innovation, Becky, and Ezhan, the supports of Coldus and Lengsa, and the tank of Assassin. So before we get to the actual players, so just talk about the former players, which was Wu Ye, Haibi, Shoushang, Nevermind, Silver 3, Milan Ran, and Crystal. Only one player has actually found a home, which was Wu Ye, who has joined a Chinese contender team called Fantasy Gaming. Other than that, no one else has found a team, so it makes sense because all of them were pretty good. I mean, actually, other than Milan Ran actually had some good performances, and Shoushang as well. But yeah, that's all I can. Yeah, that's what I really have to say. So this is interesting, I must say. So first on with the DPS, I think the DPS is possibly the strongest one. Having Dia back into the league is really cool, and I'm really excited about that. And hopefully he can do exceptionally well. We know how good he will be, so really excited about that. Innovation. I think Innovation is formerly from Team CC. Yep, I think so. He actually used to be a coach, which is interesting. For Team CC, and then I think Becky came from. I know Ezhan came from Team CC, and Becky came from Team Diamond, and which was the team that that Takoyaki also came from for the Hangzhou Spark last year. Interesting. I mean, I think Innovation and Ezhan might be a really scary DPS duo. I really hope that Dia also gets some playtime as well. But I'm really excited about seeing Ezhan and Innovation as a DPS duo. I mean, they have played, I think, with each other. Um, oh, do they have overlapping heroes? That's what I don't know. So we got Innovation, who is a DPS hit scan player. Ezhan, oh crap, he's also a DPS player. Um, I mean, Innovation is also a coach, so I guess he can maybe help out with the coaching stuff, which I'll get to soon. Um, but probably maybe it might be actually be Becky. I think Becky's the only projectile, right? Yeah. So I think it might be just Becky and maybe Azhan as the DPS duo. I think that'll be really good. And that might have some potential. I think the only issue with this roster is communication. It's just like the Hangzhou Spark. Their communication is gonna be really weird because it's just full of Chinese and Korean players. So I don't really know what they're gonna be communicating with. That's the only issue. But I mean, the DPS looks pretty nice, but I don't think they're going to be top level as in APAC. Supports looks decent, in my opinion. I think Colders did pretty good in the Hangzhou Spark. I don't think Lengsa got any. Did Lengsa ever got any playtime in the Chengdu Hunters? I think he might have, but very little. I think it was mainly Farway 1987 who was playing it, and Evotal. Wait, hang on. Is Lengsa main support, right? Oh yeah, now no, right? Yeah, yeah. He went down to Team Chaser. He was oh, okay. Now I remember now. Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. Now I remember Langsa. Okay. Yeah, so Langsa was with the Chengdu Hunters, and then he was demoted to the academy team of the Chengdu Hunters, which is Team Chaser. So he couldn't really. So I don't know if he's improved or not a lot as a player. Hopefully he has. But that support looks interest. I mean, it's interesting. I think Coldest will do decent. I think it might be just like last year, where like 3 players were like really good, and everyone else is shit. So that's just in my opinion, though. The one I'm pretty worried about is Assassin. Assassin did play decently when he was in the Overwatch League with the Hangzhou Spark. Uh, he that's really bad. He was just decent. I mean, he was just mid-pack meh. That's really all. He was just a mid-pack tank. I don't know if he's in. I think a lot of pressure is being put on him as well. And he's also. I think he's the off. He's an off tank, right? He is an off tank. Yeah, so he's an off tank and also plays DPS. What the hell does this man even play? But all right. I mean, whatever you say. Start off as flex DPS. Okay. So at least like Valiant does have some flexibility with Assassin, but I'm not too convinced on Assassin being the only tank player. Just like I've said so many times, they need to add one more tank. They need to add one more tank. If they don't, then they're screwed. But they need to add one more tank at least. I'll get to the rankings of that very soon. So I'll move on to the coaches. And then they have two coaches, and this is why I was also not a big fan of. I don't like seeing a team with two coaches. So they have No Hill, and apparently, it's what I heard from No Hill. He had a dream. He's an absolute goat. Apparently, he had a dream, and he stayed up until like 4 a.m. coaching a player. Apparently, that's what Dia said in like a Weibo post. But apparently, he stayed up to 4 a.m. to coach this one player because he dreamt of like helping someone or like just coaching someone. I think that's so bizarre of him. But I mean he's also from Team CC. I think I'll be honest, this roster, my opinion, a lot better than last time than last year. That's just my opinion though. I think he looks way better than 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 last year. I mean, Hiko and JP Cat were basically a joke, in my opinion. They were just an absolute joke of a coach and stuff. But this looks pretty decent. They also got Wuyo, who was formerly from the London Spitfire. Who he also coached for. I mean, he was actually a player for Team CC, and then he transitioned to a coaching role. I think with the amount of experience that Wuyo has in like mixed rosters, like he was with he was actually with the XL2 Academy team, which surprised him, but that actually happened. I guess like with that type of experience, he can, and obviously he's also an Overwatch League champion, because he was with the London Spitfire. I think I'm pretty excited about this for this opportunity for Wuyo. I think there was also rumor that Wuyo might be a player coach, like how Jake was last year. That and Magnitude as well. I forgot about Magnitude. But that will not be happening, as he will be just mainly an assistant coach for this team. Oh boy, this is the time where everyone is waiting for, where I do my ratings out of 10. So the DPS, I think they look pretty. They're definitely the strongest, but I don't think they're the strongest as of right now. I think this is a 7 for the DPS. I mean, like they do have a lot of firepower, but compared to the rest of the league and especially the APAC region, no thanks. The supports, I'll probably give them maybe a 6.5 for the support duos of Langsa and Colders. I think they may have some potential surprising us, but I'm not really too high on them. Even though didn't I just say I was high on? Oh, I don't care. Basically, what I'm saying is that I think Colders is going to do well. I don't know about Langsa though. I mean, Colders was decent. I'll say that. He was a mid-pack flex support player. And then he just, yeah. I mean, he was also in Hangzhou Spark, I think the most forgettable team last year. They were just so forgettable. I completely forgot they even played last year, I'll be honest. For the tank of Assassin, I have to give him 5 or even a 4. You know what, let's go to 4.5 for the tank. Yeah, I'm not really being too. I feel like I am being too harsh for him. I think maybe a 5 is actually a pretty good one. I'm gonna give him a 5 actually. 5 out of 10 for the tank. I mean, what else could he really do against these APAC teams? I mean, the APAC teams are so strong. He's gonna get absolutely bullied. I'm pretty scared for them. I mean, look. If the LU Valiant was in the West region, I would probably put the tanks a bit higher, I'll put the support a little higher, and the DPS will probably maybe be a tiny bit higher, maybe like a 7.5 or even an 8. I think the support might be a 7 or even an 8. Or actually, I think support might be 7.5, 8, the 8 will be DPS, maybe like 5.5 or even a 6 for tank. It'll only just be like a tiny bit of a jump. But I mean, again, look, at least it's better than last year's roster. We'll say that. At least it's a lot better than last year's roster. So 7 for DPS. I forgot 6.5 for support and 5 out of 10 for the tank of Assassin. For the coach, If I was reviewing last year's one, JP Cat and Hika, I would have gave them a fat 0. Um, this one, I'll probably give them. Let's probably give them a 6. Actually, hmm, let's give. You know what? Let's put them a 7. I think a no hill, if it is true of the stuff that D has been saying, if it is true of all the stuff that he's been saying about no hill, I am. I think this team may actually surprise some people. This might be our dark horse, in my opinion. Maybe actually, I don't know. Maybe the Guangzhou Charge might be a dark horse. Actually, I don't know. I mean, if it's true of what he's been saying about no heal, then I'm pretty excited and having a former player of Wuyao, then that I mean it's a decent coaching lineup. Definitely better than last year. I would have gave them a fat 0, even a 1 out of 10, just to be nice to them. But I think it's decent. I think 7 might be a bit uh too kind. Maybe a 6.5 might be pretty good. But I mean decent coach lineup, I must say. So that's really all about it for the LA Valiant. The next one is the Chengdu Hunters, and if it's true of all the reports, if the reports are coming in about the Chengdu Hunters, I am very, very, very worried about this team. But either way, that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys all next time in the next one. Goodbye.